Hey everybody, Dan here with Pain Free You. Hope everybody's doing well, getting ready for the holiday season. Got an afternoon where the sun's out and it's cold. This morning it was 22 Fahrenheit and that's below zero, below freezing for anybody else. Today I wanted to talk about this topic. And I guess it's particularly important at the holidays, because holidays can be tough. So the topic is this: are you at war with yourself? So let's talk about this. Actually, let's take a couple of breaths. I'm going to breathe in that crisp air. It's nice and quiet. About 3:30 in the afternoon. Let the tension out of your body. Just breathe fully at a pace that's comfortable to you. Sends a message to the brain that you're safe. So, are you at war with yourself? Here's a good way to tell. If you're constantly criticizing yourself, berating yourself, judging yourself, feel like you're not good enough, have judgment and resentment over the decisions you've made in the past, if there's a lot of blame and guilt and shame as to where you ended up in life right now, if these thoughts dominate your internal dialogue more often than not, you're at war with yourself. And then it's a wonder why we feel so shitty, emotionally and physically. So there's no one snap, quick, easy answer. And I know it says, it seems fairly cliche and trivial to say, forgive yourself. Learn to love yourself. For a lot of people, we don't know what the heck that looks like. We really don't. What does it look like to forgive yourself? I think in my mind it says, I'm going to choose not to pay attention to or give significance to these thoughts that say I'm a piece of crap. I made all these bad decisions and that's exactly why I'm here. Look, it's not your fault. You ended up where you ended up. The decisions you've made in your past were the decisions you made based on your life experience to that point and the information you had at your disposal at that point. And you made the best decision you could based on what was in front of you. So to beat yourself up, look, in hindsight, everything looks more clear. In hindsight, you can say, oh, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I married the wrong person, I did this that I shouldn't have done. In hindsight, it's really easy, but at the time, you made the best decision you could. So I guess I'm going to tell you, cut yourself some slack. That means stop beating yourself up. I talked to a guy, I don't know how long ago, maybe 6 months ago. He said, Dan, it's really amazing. He goes, I speak worse to myself than I ever would to any other human being on this planet, even my worst enemies. I would never talk the way I do to myself to anyone else. So I guess the question I'll ask you is, why do we allow ourselves to do that? Why do we think it's okay to call ourselves a piece of shit, not good enough, never get anywhere, this isn't going to work, you're a loser, you can't control your diet, you can't do this, you can't do that, you'll never get better. You did this, you did that, and all these self-judgments and self-criticisms. If you had a friend who was talking to you the way you talk to yourself, they wouldn't be your friend. You'd punch them in the nose. So are you at war with yourself? Call a ceasefire. Establish a treaty. No more battles. What if it was as simple as deciding that, when I notice myself doing that, I'm not going to take it seriously. I'm going to shift to all the things that are good about myself. If you're not sure what that is, write out a list. I don't know. Just notice that you're at war with yourself sometimes. And when you're battling yourself and judging and criticizing yourself and feeling not good enough for yourself, for others, for life, if you feel like a failure, it's no wonder your brain perceives danger everywhere. So maybe one of the ways you can start to feel more safe is to care for yourself as if you were a little version of yourself. You know, try to look at yourself in the mirror and maybe see a younger version of yourself, a little more innocent version, one that hasn't kind of learned through the harsh realities of life that life can be tough. Take a look at your little self, your inner child, if you will, but take a look at that old version of yourself. Give yourself a virtual hug. Put your hand on your heart. Say, I love you, as you look in the mirror. If you can't do that, if you're not able to say, I love you, looking at yourself in the mirror, you're probably at war with yourself, and you probably have been for a while. How much longer are you going to persist in doing that? You know, we're all going to end up on our deathbed at some point. I guarantee none of us are going to sit on our deathbed and say, man, I wish I was harder on myself. I wish I beat myself up more. I wish I was more self-critical, self-judgment, and self-hating towards myself. None of us will ever say that. But we may regret the amount of time that we've spent beating ourselves up, criticizing ourselves, judging ourselves, telling us all the reasons why we're not good enough and we can't do this, we can't do that. How much longer are you going to keep doing that? If you're at war with yourself, maybe it's time to make peace. How do you make peace? Breathe, relax, smile. Accept that you are where you are. None of it's your fault, it's just where you ended up. Know that today can be a better day than yesterday, and tomorrow can be a better day than today, etc., etc. Little baby steps. It takes practice to love yourself. It takes compassion. It takes forgiveness. So if you find yourself at war with yourself, make a decision and a commitment that you're going to do better each day to treat yourself with a little bit more love, compassion, kindness, empathy, respect, gratitude, acknowledgement. Doesn't that already feel better? Make that a practice. Make that who you become. Make it to the point where it becomes your new habit and your new way of showing up for yourself. Because it's going to be really tough to teach your brain that you're safe if all the time you're just going around beating the crap out of yourself, screaming at yourself, judging yourself. So there's a lot more reasons to be kind and compassionate and love yourself than just to get rid of physical pain. But if that motivates you, that's a really damn good reason. So, I love you guys and gals. I believe in you. I respect you. I care for you. And if you can't muster that stuff up for yourself, borrow it from me. Anyway, love you guys and gals. I will see you tomorrow.